After the Second World War, many German officers claimed that they had fought a clean war and knew nothing of Nazi crimes. Whereas this may be true in some cases, information provided by the British Secret Service proved that this was not the case in general. Knowledge of the Holocaust and other crimes was widely known, and despite this, these officers fought on until they were captured. The British Secret Service learned about this thanks to a luxurious prisoner of war camp. Trent Park is in North London, and it was used during the Second World War as a special camp for high-ranking prisoners of war. The rooms were bugged by the British Secret Service. It was assumed that in the relaxed atmosphere of this camp, where officers could enjoy the privileges that they may have considered came with their rank, and waited on by British staff, they might talk more freely. During the course of the war, 84 generals and a number of lower-ranking staff officers passed through Trent Park. The Trent Park operation was the idea of Thomas Kendrick, who had headed the British Secret Service in Vienna in 1939. He found a Scottish aristocrat, Lord Aberfeldy, who was to be the prisoner's welfare officer. He was a cousin of King George VI, and his role was to befriend the German generals. He let them know that his cousin, the king, was insistent that the captured officers were treated in accordance with their status. To this end, he took them out on day trips, shopping to places such as Harrods, and out for meals at high-end restaurants such as at the Savoy Hotel and Simpson's in the Strand in London. Part of this aim was thus not only to gain their confidence, but to lull the prisoners into talking about subjects with their fellow officers. Lord Aberfeldy, however, was not a cousin of the king, nor was he a lord for that matter. He was an MI-19 agent called Ian Munro. However, the situation suited the prisoners too, for the captured officers' life in Trent Park had its perks. The rations were simple, but probably much better than their families were getting back home in Germany, and they had the benefit of British whiskey. There was a large library, a lounge, and they could go for walks in the extensive grounds. And of course they chatted amongst themselves, revealing what they knew about the crimes being committed by the Nazi leadership, the Commissar order, the massacre of the Jewish population, the cruel treatment of Soviet prisoners of war, shooting of hostages, and the plundering of occupied territories. They talked in detail of crimes of which they had witnessed and in some cases actually participated in. Now, I've done a longer video on this subject which describes some of the Nazi crimes which were actually discussed. If you'd like to know more and find out how this information was used in post-war trials, then subscribe and you will know when I will upload it. Thanks for listening.